Hello guys, it's OG Lamebwah or Lamebwah, depending on how you want to say it. I'm going to talk to you about the Stun Monk with Static Charge today. Go over the gear, the skills, and show a little bit of the gameplay of the build and why it's successful in the higher, greater rifts. First we'll go over the gear. Obviously the most successful pieces of gear and the most important pieces of gear are going to be your gears that prioritize your stuns and your freezes, because that's what the entire build is based around with APDs, arcane or ancient Parthian defenders. So you're going to try to get your two easiest pieces to get this on, in my opinion, are going to be your gloves and your belt. Obviously, trying to roll it on fists is very difficult, as you can see. These are the only life on hit Vit fists I have. Not too great, but they get the job done, coupled with the freeze and the overall damage of the build. So you're going to want to make sure you have stun on gloves. That's the most important piece, in my opinion. It can roll quite high, minus 3.1%. I don't really see any need for anything past that, but the more you have, the better, obviously. My string of ears, again, it's another non-ancient piece. 3.4% chance to freeze on hit. The build that I cleared the 72 in only has about 6.5% total. Chance to stun and freeze and proc the APDs. However, coupled with Fists of Fury and 5 attacks per second, I mean, you're laying out stuns and freezes. You're proccing your APDs. You have nothing to worry about there. Now you can also go the Witching Hour variant, which I have the option to do. With pushing, I don't know. I want to be challenged. I want to make sure that the DR is there personally. That's why I was using Serenity Ascension. Also, I'll go get into the skills, but that's why I was using Serenity over Epiphany on top of that. I just want to make sure that I can live through the Rift right now, and once I get to a point where the DPS isn't real enough, then I'm going to switch over to Witching Hour, and I'll probably make the switch to Epiphany even prior to that. To me switching over to Witching Hour, just because there are a lot of times where your spirit isn't topped off, and there's a lot of dangerous moments before you proc your APDs where Epiphany could really help you, as far as like porting into a big pack. Boom, you're porting in with 50% DR, laying out your freezes and your stuns, and that's going to help you out there. Then you're gonna live when Serenity, or when Epiphany is off of you. When it drops eventually, because you're going to have your freezes and your stuns laid out, and you're going to be attacking fast, and it's all going to work out for you. So that's as far as the gear goes. I mean, it's pretty standard. You're going to get Spirit on your helmet, because again, that's damage in this build. You're going to just roll your pieces to give you as much EHP as possible, or toughness is what they call it nowadays. You can tell I haven't played Diablo in a while, until very recently. As far as the rings go, I run the Zuni Dock rings from my Karn Witch Doctor for the attack speed. Depth Diggers, I have a couple ancient pairs, but none of them have 98% resource. So, I mean, that's also something I want to get into as far as ancient gear versus non-ancient. There's certain pieces, obviously, your freezes and your stun pieces. They can be non-ancient. Your Depth Diggers can be non-ancient. Your helmet can be non-ancient. I mean, as long as you have the important secondaries rolled correctly. I think there's, I would love to have all ancient gear, but it's Diablo, it's RNG. So get the best pieces that you can that have the most important secondaries for this build, and that's where this build is really unique to a lot of other builds out there. Is that the secondaries are extremely important for the build. So let's get into the skills. Obviously, Way the 100 Fists, Fists of Fury, this is your main proc coefficient, attack for the whole build. This is what procs everything. This is a proc in your static charge, this is a proc in your freezes and your stuns. This is the most important attack skill, period, after your Fist of Thunder, which is going to tag everything with static charge, and it's going to be your single target DPS. So it's a very fun build because of the duo generator nature of it. I mean, you're playing with two. It feels like the old school monk. When I run groups sometimes, as a joke, I use Sweeping Wind with Lightning in place of Serenity, just because, you know, it's fun to see the old school tornadoes, and you really don't need Serenity and, you know, speeds. You're not going to die if you're playing correctly. So you're going to run Mantra of Salvation Agility for this build. You know, you just need the toughness. You're also dropping near death experience, and you would be grabbing, what the heck is it? Harmony's on my Hellfire. Wow, I can't. I'm completely. Oh, Guardian's Path. Duh. So again, toughness. Toughness is number one. You got to live to do DPS. A dead DPS does 0 DPS, so that's not gonna work out well for you. So those are the skills, right? Breath of Heaven is basic. You know, your Fist of Thunder, Mantra of Salvation, Agility, Serenity Ascension, Dashing Strike, you know, that's going to carry you around. Oh, if you're not using Serenity, you're using Epiphany, and this is where I want to show you why Epiphany's good. Because you're regenerating Spirit while you're in Epiphany, as well as getting that, you know, 50% DR that everybody loves. And what's real, and this is your APDs in your cube. Your cube is Flying Dragon APDs and not Convection. It's your Unity for solo. This is, you know, this is where all your DR comes from, coupled with your stun and your freeze. But back to what I was saying about Epiphany. What's great about Epiphany is that you're passively regenerating Spirit. So in between those packs, let's say you have a spread out rift, right? And you need to teleport to, you know, between a couple packs to group up there. Well, if you're not running Epiphany and you're not getting that passive Spirit regen, your Dashing Strike might start eating up charges. Now, when your Dashing Strike is down, how you proc in your focus and your restraint. So you're literally losing out on 50% of your DPS just because you're out of dashes, and that's going to take like 6 to 8 seconds, whatever it is, to come back up. So it's a pretty substantial DPS loss, and that's why I can see the Chinese guy went with Epiphany rather than you know, Serenity Ascension, because it's going to make it easier to move between packs with that. I'm going to just try to show a little bit of the gameplay. I'm not going to do a whole rift or anything. We all know the RNG nature of these things. So I'll pop in 74, and let's just see how everything goes in between packs. Make sure I have the right stuff on. Again, I'm going to use the string of ears because I don't want to get blown up on this video. So this is a nice spot. Let's pop our Serenity. And you can see the stuns going off. I mean, obviously we'd want to create a better pack than this. So we'll go forward. Now Serenity's down, Spirit's dead, we're using charges. So when you portal into a pack, I can imagine it would be a good time to use Serenity. And when you are basically when you portal into the pack is probably the best time to use Serenity. So just keeping everything static up and, you know, going at it with your Way of the 100 Fists. Now this is a crap rift, honestly. I'd probably, these guys, I don't think they're worth the progress for the health that you get. Or I don't think the progress that you get from these is worth it as far as how long it takes to kill them. Because they have way too much health for the progress. I'd probably fish for, you know, a little bit different rift than this. This is Cathedral though, so it is good. But yeah, I mean, this is basically it. You're just creating groups of mobs, tagging them with static, blasting them down. You know, I didn't put my Serenity up or my Epiphany up because I'm not really paying attention, to be honest. But I mean, you get the general gist of it. You want to try to keep your Spirit as high as possible. You want to dash every 4 seconds. You know, I probably dash too much, but again, I'm not really paying attention 100%. I'm trying to talk to you guys. So anyway, this is that. I'd probably end up going Witch an Hour when I start going after 74s so that I could play rifts like this a little bit better. And that's it. I mean, this is the whole gameplay of it. But this is, so I mean, you see that I was never in danger of dying, and that's like the main thing I wanted to show you. So you need to build your Spirit up when you're dashing in between packs. So you always hit one mob or two. and then go when you're trying to find the biggins. So obviously we all know that this room is always good for that. Get our Epiphany up. Now we can get our dash game strong. You know, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, with how fat these mobs are and how much health they have, it probably wouldn't even be worth it for me to go after this. Really need like some kind of zombiness, happening with Unburied or a Phase Beast. This map with a Phase Beast and Unburied would be like GG. But again, I'm just trying to show you the DR of it, so we can get out of here. Whee! Let's get the heck out of this rift. Oh, and I'm dead because I stopped attacking. So if you do stop attacking, you will die. That's just what happens. You know, so that's the spec. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool because you can push into higher DRs than you'd normally have been able to. I mean, this season I was messing around on a Witch Doctor and a Barbarian also. You know, my Witch Doctor clear is a 67, my Barb was a 66. This is all pre-Paragon 800, I think. Or probably like pre-850, whatever it was. Anyway, they're fun classes, but the ceiling for this class is extremely high. So enjoy it, play it, have a good time. I hope this video helped you in gearing it up and understanding it a little bit and kind of seeing the gameplay of it. You know, I got destroyed on this rift. That's what happens sometimes. Alright guys, OG Lamebwah signing out. Have a nice day.